that our board was updated on, and I went through and sorted them just based on ones that are around the airport area, just to kind of give you a quick update on that. We have a pretty significant, internal issues at the road commission right now, so we're focusing on that. But we do have a lot of projects that are continuing to go on this year. So the first one I wanted to point out was that the Parsons Road East City Limits to 3 Mile Road project is completed. It has recessed pavement marking lines that were completed July 17th, and that was the end of that project. And you guys know that that had a bit of a impact on the airport traffic around there. The traffic intersection signal modernizations, the one that's gonna be close to you here is the one on South Airport in Garfield. That one, so I'm just gonna read you the update because this one has been delayed multiple times, so it's kind of hard to keep up with the status of the project. It says all underground work is complete with exception of metered service. Aerial work has been put on hold due to delays in manufacturing of steel strain poles. Worthy of noting, contractor placed a routine stocking order approximately 10 months ago, and we, I believe, just took delivery of that, so that project is starting to go. We're expecting a completion date of the traffic signal modernizations in November 30th, so in time for Thanksgiving. We'll hopefully have that done. So that light's gonna affect your access in and out of the airport minimally. It's not a massive project, but we are upgrading it to be part of that scoop system, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Hammond and 4 Mile Road in East Bay Township, a potential corridor roundabout design. There's no change in that status. Final watering requirements in summer of 23 are being scheduled. Remaining items for this project are a punch list of reviews. So essentially that project is completed, that roundabout. We still have no plans for any other roundabouts on Hammond on the east side of town as the time is. The scoot system, which is that fancy traffic light system that talks to each other, that continues to have issues, and we're updating it as it is. We've got multiple system failures on it. South Airport Road at the Grand Traverse Mall in Garfield Township is where we've had the significant drops in that. So until that one is working right, we have issues as it goes down the road. But ideally, that would be going all the way down South Airport past your airport. The east-west corridor, Boardman River Crossing, continues to be the first priority on our board's strategic plan, and we continue the environmental work on that. Maybe you've heard that the roadkill issue was solved. It was. Guess what? We're doing the same thing we've been doing all along. We just got letters from the state telling us that we're allowed to do that now. So we will be picking up roadkill. Thank you, Commissioner Henschel and your board and your staff for your assistance to our staff during that time, and we're glad that it was finished. So.
You didn't have to use the airport school board.
No, I still think my idea was the best. Put it in that road barge that's been in the middle of the bay for a while, and just kind of a deer kill barge. So our meeting is actually this week, so we're kind of a weird one. We've got the same schedule as you guys for meetings, so I have sort of last month's information, but I pulled this off of our packet that was just taken out. So we haven't discussed these items yet, so I don't have as much updated information, but it seems to be the best way to share it with you. But if you have a concern, I could certainly ask it Thursday when we have our full board meeting. So.
What time is the meeting on Thursday?
So this month is delayed till 7 p.m. Normally our meetings are at 6 p.m. on the third Thursday, but we had a conflict for our chair who works for the state and is gonna be driving his personal car, not his state car, to get back in time for the meeting. So we're looking forward to that. We have a pretty full agenda for sure on that one. Kevin?
I just have a general question or recommendation. Thank you for all the work on all the stoplights. It does improve customer flow at the airport. If you could recommend some of that work to be done at night, we greatly appreciate it. Especially the work out at the entrance of the airport, as it has improved the flow and the light. And I would say thank you for doing that. However, when the work was done, we had traffic backups all the way from the light almost to the terminal. And we had to divert passengers out. If that night, which we've done work like that at night before, if that would have been done at night, it would have been less of an impact. So also with the painting, where they would grind the markings off, paint markings, another project that if we could really emphasize that, especially on our major thoroughfares, to be done at night. We had passengers complain to us about delayed, missing flights because of traffic backups on South Airport Road.
Yeah.
So, just
Well, that's.
thank you for the
yeah,
improvements.
it's an
I don't
overall
wanna,
thing.
I'm not criticizing the improvements.
Well, you should,
Thank you.
that's why I'm here.
But I'm looking if you can improve the process by doing night work. I know sometimes that adds a cost, but it also helps the flow of the day-to-day.
Well, you guys are kind of a captive audience, so with not being able to leave here, if your access point, you know, is closed, I mean, other than airlifting people out, which I suppose perhaps you have the possibility for, that makes sense. And that's actually, you know, trying to learn a little bit more, being on this board new, that's a great thing that just in general, I'd like to, like, kind of like the 30,000-foot view of why are some projects selected as at night and others aren't. As we all know, the MDOT updates on 31, Division 31, not 31 North, were done in evenings the entire summer. And I live on the west side of town and thought it was gonna be this big, huge ordeal, and never once on my commute, morning or evening, was I delayed. And I go to bed, I guess, before they start the work at night, because I never was out. Like, one night I was out late and I'm like, oh my God, they're working on the road. Like, you know, when I normally sleep, and Chuck was like, yeah, they do that every night. That's actually how they're doing it.
So I agree, and I know Jay Rank is doing a lot of that, and we know Jay Rank likes to work at night, cause
Yeah.
we work here at night.
Yeah, I think for the worker safety as well, I'm sure that there's a benefit. I do agree
So
with
thank you,
most of
I
it.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And we have another question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Mr.
too.
DeYoung.
Yes, thank you for all this information, it's very helpful. I would just like to reiterate what we've talked about in the past, and that is with the Parkway, construction coming up. I know you redid Parsons, which I appreciate, it's gonna be very helpful as that traffic diverts. But South Airport from the Costco entrance to 3 Mile is in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, it is.
And it's gonna see a lot of traffic, and it's gonna bring a lot of traffic past the airport when passengers are trying to get here as well. And not only is the road not in good shape, but the shoulder's not in good shape. I would really think the road commission should look at doing something to that either this fall or in the spring before that other project starts.
So a few months ago, I did email our head engineer when you had brought that up. And, you know, I kind of got a response in regard to the Parsons update, but not really on that. So that's a good note to follow up. I'll just shoot an email when I'm here, try to see if I can get a response, and see if we can get some kind of update as to if that's in the cards. The Parson job is a perfect example of poor communication and public relations by the road commission. Because that was actually funded in a different way. It was funds, and I would have to look it up because it was months ago, so it's escaping me unless it says it here. But that was not done on our, and I shouldn't say on our choice, we wanted to do it, but it was, yeah, I don't have it here, but it was a different type of funding. And so, you know, those projects are scheduled based on funding, and I was responded to that, you know, the South Airport to 3 Mile would come out of a different kind of fund where those projects are kind of backed up for a while. But I can see what the options are, get just a better answer, to that,
Yeah,
because
even
he
just
did
some-
briefly touch on it, then went on to Parsons, and I'm like, not asking
Yeah,
about
even
that.
just some cosmetic, you know, maybe mill and fill but the gravel sides.
The shoulder, I think the
Our
shoulder
shoulders
work,
are in
yeah.
pretty rough shape too.
Yep. I will, I'll send that email while I'm here, and, you know, I'm not going to place a money wager that I'll have an answer by second public comment, but I will try on that one for sure.
Mr. Nelson?
Yes, I'd just like to say thank you to Wayne and Derek. They've started to reach out a little bit more. I think the signal issue kind of prompted that. And then as part of the MPO now, I'll be able to kind of coordinate with them additionally. So I'll just say for everyone, we're continuing this coordination, and I think this is a great update for them.
We are, trying to, be better at communicating, and I may have mentioned a time or 2 or 10 of keeping the airport in the loop, so I appreciate that. On a very quick aviation nerd note, I was at the Madeira airport last month, which is Madeira Island off the coast of Africa. It's the #3 most dangerous landing airport, and pilots have to have a special rating to fly in there. And I just wanted to tell you what their airport engineers do. It's this top of a volcano in the middle. It's about 800 miles off the coast of Morocco. and they don't have enough flat land for a runway. So they cut out part of the mountain and put a runway there, and on each side, they built a runway in stilts on the ocean. And planes come in and land on stilts and then go down. I actually sat for days and watched it, which is, fun vacation for my husband. But you go down and you actually drive on pylons over the highways on the ocean, the planes do, to get to the end. And then you have to have a little circle turnaround, and the planes have to do. It was fascinating, so watching that, and all I could think of was, I wonder what their airport board does to like make these discussions. They're constantly out there fixing pylons because they have these issues of not having enough flat land, and it was absolutely worth a landing if you ever get a chance to fly into Madeira. It's fun. Their claim to fame is a soccer person named Cristiano Ronaldo. Not being a sports person, I had no idea who this person was, and I thought he was passed away because he has an airport named after him, but it's like a kid. He's like 30-something and still playing soccer, and the airport is named after him, and the whole airport is named like soccer.
What are the biggest stars in the world?
Okay, so I missed that part, but I can tell you about the planes. They have 9 major airlines that fly into there, and you can't go past the Airbus, but it's fascinating to watch them, and so I just wanted to say, if you ever get a chance to YouTube the Madeira airport,
Yeah.
you will love it. The engineering alone is magnificent, how they were able to build a runway into the Atlantic Ocean. It's absolutely worth it. So, I will shoot an email for you, Doug, and, Kevin will talk about nighttime work.
That's a suggestion.
Okay, it's good to be back.
Thank you. Public comment pertaining to agenda items. Hearing none, reading and approval of previous minutes. We have the minutes from the regular meeting on July 25th.
Motion to approve as submitted.
Moved and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Too late. The August 21st minutes. Motion to approve.
For second.
Moved and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the meeting from August 22nd that you just received.
Support, or motion to make.
Moved and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Consent calendar. The purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with by one authority motion without discussion. Any member of the authority, staff, or the public may ask that any item on the consent calendar be removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such requests will be automatically respected. If any item is not removed from the consent calendar, the action noted, receive and file or approval is approved by a single authority action adopting the consent calendar. We have no receive and files. We have 2 items on the approvals. I would entertain a motion to approve them as presented.
So moved.
For second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reading of communications, if we could move to the video, please. That's awesome. It really shows you what a diverse person we need in the maintenance department. And Chris, don't let the word out about how you are at doing these videos. You'll have headhunters coming.
Well, I had a lot of fun doing it. A lot of sneak attacks on folks, which was a lot of fun. But honestly, that is really how it is out there. We do have that much fun at Traverse City or Jerry Capital Airport. We really do. So that's a clear and obvious. What am I gonna say? That's how we are.
Hey, hold on a second. Not everybody was there. What's your name?
My name's Chris C. Lucky.
Where do you live?
I live in Elk Rapids, Michigan.
And what team are you on?
I play for TBC.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you again. It is apparent in the video that they enjoy their jobs, and obviously that goes a long way to employee retention, so please pass on our thanks to all.
I will, thank you.
Any other communications? It doesn't look like. No standing committee reports, no special committee reports, no unfinished business. So under new business, first thing, resolution 2023-67 to approve the extension of notice of rescission of land resources and restrictions.
Okay, so when we were closing out the former last site with Eagle, we had to file a restricted covenant over that defined area where the old maintenance building. When we submitted then the application for close out the restricted covenant, Eagle wanted it larger. So this action is to file the larger restricted covenant and then rescind the smaller restricted covenant. What do you need to add to that, Karen?
No, the, new restricted covenant has been recorded, I was just informed today, so now it's time to rescind the original.
Mr. Chair, I move just.
Second.
Moved and supported. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution number 2023-68 for the execution of 1, MDOT sponsor contract, and 2, the federal grant agreement 326-0094-5523 Airport Terminal Program Grant, Bill ATP for terminal rehabilitation, replacing 3 boarding bridges.
Total is for the grants, $5,741,264. Of that, the Fed's share is $5,225, and the state share is $143,529, and the airport share is $372,735.
So you're replacing all 3 of the bridges? Kevin?
Yeah, gauge 1, 3, and 4. Gauge 2 will remain because of the current design of the potential new concourse, that's where that will connect into.
So when will that
The
happen?
concept, I should say.
When will that happen?
So we will present to the FAA here this fall on all of our final justification. If they accept that, which we have every indication they should, we will then proceed forward to a 2-step process, financial planning and environmental. So we can plan, and so the environmental will take the better part of a year to complete. And then at the same time, financial planning will be put into place. And then at the conclusion of those 2 events, if both are positive, then we can move into design with potential shovels in the ground either late 25 or 26, but that's the best case scenario.
So how long does it actually take once all of that is done to?
18 months to 2 years.
Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
We can also like a roll call.
Okay. Yep.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support the motion.
It's been moved and supported. Further discussion? Hearing
Okay.
none.
We're gonna do a roll call vote for the federal grant, and then we'll do one for the state contract. Beach now,
Yes.
Swanick,
Yes.
DeYoung,
Yes.
Hinchel. Yes. Shinnecock,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Commandant,
Yes.
Schmidt. Yes. For the state contract. Beach now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
DeYoung,
Yes.
Hinchel. Yes. Shinnecock,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Commandant,
Yes.
Schmidt. Yes.
You need one then for the airport ones, since we only did the state and the fed.
No, the state, that, yeah, that's our limit.
That's our cash.
Yeah.
The reason we do roll call is it requires, when we sign the final grant, it requires a resolution with a vote to it to go be submitted.
Try to save paperwork later.
Thank you. Item 3, resolution number 2023-69 to award the construction contract to Hallmark Construction for terminal rehabilitation or replacement of the 3 jet bridges.
Well, you just approved the grant, so, for the work.
We should approve the.
Motion to approve.
Moved and supported, further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, resolution 2023-70 to approve the contract amendment for construction administration with Mead and Hunt for terminal rehabilitation, again replacing of the 3 boarding bridges.
So this is the actual administration, and oversight of that project, so. Move to approve.
Support.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, resolution number 2023-71 to approve Traverse Connect Cooperative Marketing Proposal.
Warren Call would be here today, but he had another meeting that was scheduled well in advance, so he apologizes for not being here to have this discussion. Our last proposal was $50,000, and it came out of our marketing budget, for which the main focus and target was business travel. Obviously, from the benchmarking data we received through our retreat, we're doing better than the national average of return business, so I feel that our relationship was successful. We targeted a couple of things during our last time. We had a air service presentation to the community, put on by Traverse Connect, that was at the Del Mar. We had about 80 participants that came in, and we talked about the air service and air service market industry. We've hosted here at the airport a couple of their.
Right.
After hours? Well, it was not after hours, it was actually, I wanna call it the Marine, oh God, my name's gone blank, sorry, after 2 days. The Marine Technology Electric Charging Station and everything, it was the Blue Water.
Highway or whatever.
Yeah, we hosted that here as a meeting, kickoff meeting, and engaged in it with about 45 different people that were suppliers, vendors, and different things that could take a look at that great project and be a part of it. So again, bringing in potential businesses looking at the airport, developing here. And then we've done other talent-related, Fresh Coast, talent-related objectives. So we'd like to continue that. But what Warren and I talked about is doing that on a 3-year, instead of coming back every year, doing it on a 3-year cycle. And so, he put that 3-year period in, starting at 52.5 and putting a 3% annual increase in it moving forward. What he's offered more though, for the additional money, is some additional advertising opportunities in the newsletters and the various things that are associated. Plus, more presence on the website, that when we're targeting a business to look at our website, that's one of the first things that they'll see. So we're working on that. Plus, Warren and TC Connect has pledged to help us, as the community, part of the community share of looking for the small community air service development grant. Part of that, we look for community pledges. We have community pledges from Traverse City Tourism at $100,000, and then Traverse Connect was pledging at $50,000. And we've had other marketing support from the Gaylord area also to support that grant. So there, we apply for that grant, and if we get it, then they would contribute $50,000 towards that grant, for that revenue guarantee. And that grant was supported with a letter from United Airlines, for potential Houston seasonal service.
Motion to approve as presented? I'll support the motion.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, we have at least one question, Mr. Bonnet.
Yeah, on that, you talked about that you're targeting towards the website. How often do we update the website or work on it?
So this would be on their website, and how often, we have not updated their website with a working relationship in probably 2+ years since we've sat down and reviewed it.
So how often do they update it if we go through
Um,
this?
Probably, I would say at least annually, if not more than that, because now we can give them our marketing materials to do our logos and different things for when they advertise to certain things, so it'll be more.
Is it an interactive website or is it?
Yeah, to a point, but I define how interactive you're thinking. And interactive as, if you click on it and you get dropped down a menu of different business opportunities and places to go to understand real estate development and, utilities and that kind of stuff, yes, it's very interactive in that, but interactive
For the airport, I'm thinking.
yeah, well, from our standpoint, that's what we are gonna provide them, so like, our assets that we have for our map, for utilities and that kind of stuff, yes. Yeah.
Mr. Dion.
Yes, I need to abstain from voting in this. I am a board member of Traverse Connect, so I will not be participating in the vote.
Thank you.
Kevin, I think, again, speaking in support of this, I think it's a great connection if we're continuing to pursue business travel, with the growth of business members and the amount of business members. I think it's a perfect targeting situation for us.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record show Mr. Dion abstained, please. Resolution number 2023-72 to approve the contract amendment for construction administration with Green and Newhoff for the runway 10 ILS project.
Let's get her done.
I'm almost getting, I don't know, we started.
Yet?
Yeah, they're doing mobilization as we speak, Rawhorn is. And so this would be the administration for Pride and Newhoff, who also did the plans and specs. So this would be their, administration.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution number 2023-73 to approve the obstruction removal phase 3, change order number 1 with Elmer's Crane and Dozer.
Well, this is a balancing of quantity to remove unused quantities. It's a net deduct of $117,837.
I move to accept resolution 2023-73.
Second.
Moved and supported. Further discussion?
I'll just add, so we explain what the obstruction is. This is the old blast walls and the old buildings associated with the terminal.
And this is the last of it, correct?
Of that area.
Any further questions?
So it's a deduct, you came in under budget,
Came in under budget.
government project came in under budget, just.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's why having an engineer is very important to be on staff, yes.
Thank you, Bob. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item L, report of chief executive officer.
All right, well, thank you all again for the fabulous work that we did the last couple of days, so I greatly appreciate that. Just some things since we last met, we had an evening on River Street in Airport Ethics. It's a great event, it started off a little rainy, but we had fun nonetheless. Chris did an excellent job there, I think he's took off on us. But setup, takedown, we have a new tent, that has a big bright TVC, thanks Heather and Ron for that, you guys worked to get that done, so, I think we made a big presence in Elk Rapids with that. ILS meeting's ongoing, so that's nothing new. Had a meeting with the Global Business Travel Association, they're looking to possibly work with the Michigan Association of Airport Executives on some future travel initiatives, FAA reauthorization, state funding, etc. So that was our first reach out meeting. We all went to visit the horse show. Would you like to share?
It was amazing. Yeah, who would have known there were 16 different arenas and has all that special, every arena has what, $1 million worth of sand in it? And construction, I mean, who would have known? And that they have what, a $7 million purse through the course of the summer? It's significant.
Wayne and Steve, you were also there?
It was awesome. I'm taking my granddaughters back.
Well,
No, it was very impressive. I love the jumping. I couldn't really keep my eyes off watching the horses jump. I really, really did enjoy it, even through the rain.
even through the rain.
Yeah.
Put some thanks to Commissioner Mouse today, putting it together.
Yeah, I wanted you guys to see it if you had, because I don't think most of the people understand all that's going on out there, and it's an incredible, it's probably the biggest kept secret, we all know it's there, but how big it is and what goes on, amazing.
One thing my wife said is that they could really improve the entrance. It's just so sort of obscure.
Subtle.
Just, yeah, you don't even know. It's like a dirt road, you go into it and it's just huge.
There's not a lot of public going in, actually.
Right, now, that's what I realized that,
Yeah.
The people who go, somebody asked me who, was my granddaughter there or son, because they said they don't usually just get public there.
And to mention something, on Sundays, the show is closed for the second half of August, opening back up right after Labor Day. On the Sundays, it's usually a $15 fee to get in, and 100% of that fee goes to a nonprofit. And September 10th, there's one coming up, it's the Imagination Library, Dolly Parton, there's a local group that's putting together, so working with Bunsen Hospital, and they're gonna expand it out, but as children are born, they're gonna be given some books from the Imagination Library, and then connect with those families so that they can get books ongoing. And so September 10th, at the horse show, for $15, you can go in and see the show and support that. My little plug.
Cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's really good. It was great. Meeting with Deb Allen and Eric Elger, talking about the overlay zone that we've been talking about at our zone, so it was great. It was just good to get both of them together and reminisce about everything going on. I'll be out in Leelanau County in October to do an update, requested by the chairman. And so, look forward to it. We had the Travis Connect Women's Leadership Cohort, held here. Another Iowa. We had the Michigan Infrastructure Press Conference that was held here with the Michigan Administration Officer, Zach Hooligan, with State Representative Kofia, and myself, Lieutenant Chairman Lamondon also kicked us off and closed us out. Anything to add?
It was well attended. I was actually surprised at how many people were there. It's always a good opportunity to meet people from Lansing. So it was well done.
We had our airport emergency plan review also that day. So the airport, staff and tenants all reviewed the airport emergency plan. We also had, on the next morning, Dan presented at the
Local emergency planning committee.
So I think Mr. Henschel was there, sent, some pictures of Mr. Dan. I'm not gonna post, but you look really intense.
All the firefighters are totally enthralled.
I have to say, the whole room was looking like that. So, you look good, Dan, you look good, so. And then 45 North, had their special event, on the 17th.
Was that well attended?
I could not tell you, we had some pretty good thunderstorms that day in the morning, so I don't, you know. And of course, reporter. So.
Kevin, did you wanna touch on the MAAE staff exchange you did as well?
Oh,
We're all thinking.
I skipped over that, didn't I?
Yeah, that's a good.
So we hosted on the 2nd of August, and I apologize, it's because Chris left. Chris left. Chris put together what we call a staff exchange with other airports, where we invited every airport in the state, to attend and come up and just go off and meet with their counterparts. So if there are maintenance persons, go off with a maintenance person, ops person, security, accounting, we had several, handfuls of that, and airport managers, came, and a couple from Saginaw, West Branch, and then some consultants also came in. And, so it was just a chance to talk about business, but it was also a chance to talk about issues you might be having. Let's say you're having an issue with a coworker or a board member, or something at another airport, and you're looking for someone else just to share some advice versus having to talk to, a supervisor at that airport. And so we shared things that I think was great. We talked about all kinds of legislation that's going through, funding, but then we talked about everyday issues that pop up, from tenant relationships to, even collecting fees and all kinds of stuff. I think it was really interesting, to do that. So it was attended about 45 people, I think it was 45 people that we had here, so it was really good. As far as from Kalamazoo,
Sault Ste. Marie.
Sault Ste. Marie. So we had a good group, so shouldn't have missed that. Thank you. Thank you to Chris again for making that happen.
Operations report.
This is a fun one. So, total passenger movements were up in July, from last July, 19.8%. Well, for the year, we're up 17.9%. But, vice versa, tower count aircraft operations are down 1.8%. Larger planes. So, we are not seeing increased activity at the airport. We are seeing larger planes come in. The nice thing about the larger planes is, yes, they're larger, but they're wider, they're more fuel efficient for everything, So, it's been a great improvement, to see that. And it gives us the option for better fares. When you put in more capacity, simple economics, supply and demand, when there's more supply, your price goes down. So, it's great. The 111,565 is not July's record though. July's record still was 112,021, so we just missed that. However, year to date, 393,161 to date, that is a record by over 60,000 heads. Wow.
So what months went way over to do it, or are we all?
Our first quarter was very strong, and June was a record by one passenger.
So we sent him a letter.
So it's been consistently near the highest, just like July was.
Yep, so we're having a solid year, so hopefully that continues. non-conflict.
So 6 people going to vote.
It was me, Ken, I went to Minneapolis.
Yeah, it was Paul, he did go to Minneapolis. He did. So, really great, and of course, that, you know, shows in the fueling and some of the others, so, you know. So yeah, good report.
Accounts receivable report. Again, looks like all small numbers, stragglers that
I did have a couple partners that were pretty outstanding, and I was able to get those paid up last month.
outstanding by how long in your? By
They
your-
actually were like 12 months past due and they weren't paying. We had already paid off, turned off their cards, so I threatened small claims court and they both paid up.
Awesome, good job.
Big
Yeah.
stick.
Thank you for staying on that religious.
Yeah.
Budget review.
Well, the budget, of course, is reflected by, you know, as Kevin's report there about the passengers, so they're far ahead of last year and doing great.
Thank you. Any questions? If not, any general public comments pertaining to airport business? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Kevin was right, we do need a roll call vote for, the agreement with the Charter Connect, since, we have a recusal that requires a 2/3 vote, thereby we need a roll call vote. So, we can redo that vote.
Certainly.
Okay.
Memo 71.
Thank you for pointing that out. So it's resolution 2023-71.
Correct.
It's been moved and supported.
It was moved by Rob Mitchell, supported by Paul Beechman.
Perfect. So if you would call the roll on that?
Certainly. Beechman,
Yes.
Lennox,
Yes.
Young,
Abstain.
Mitchell. Yes. Junko,
Here?
Nelson,
Yes.
O'Rourke,
Yes.
Comandon,
Yes.
and Schmidt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Any other general public comments at this point? Hearing none, any board comments?
Thanks again for the last couple of days. It was very instructional, informative for me. I learned a lot.
Echo his comments.
Or
Thank you. Any other comments?
Steve, I wish Chris was still here, but, one of the things I really liked about the video that he did, and I'll send him an email, was it focused on the people. You know, we've been talking about that and how great our facilities are and everything else, but as I said this yesterday, at the end of the day, I think it's providing memorable experiences everywhere. And it was really cool to see the whole video focused solely on our staff members and our people here. It's pretty impressive.
I did like that it showed how many maintenance people it actually does take to change a light bulb.
Well, they had.
in one insert.
Just remember.
Everybody had a smile on their face when they looked in that video. Granted, it's a video, but I think it's been pointed out numerous times the last couple of days that they enjoy their job and it reflects in our customer satisfaction. It's very much appreciated.
Mr. Chairman, if you may. Again, thank you for the last couple of days, but I just wanted to conclude on one note. So, we started with the miracle and we looked at that from a strategic planning point. But there's another management video I want you to all go back and take a look at. It's called Moneyball. Anybody watch Moneyball?
Yes. Watched them last night.
Adapt or die, yeah, that's great. That is all great. I want you to look at it from a management perspective, not from a baseball perspective. Okay, so take a look at that and look at the whole picture. And when we talk about some of our strategic objectives, I think it was someone that said it on earlier, it's about getting on base. And a lot of things we do is about getting on base. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to hit the home run every time, you have to get in the base. But at the end of the day, if you watch the end of the video, when Billy Bean and Pierre watch the video of a player rounding the base, and he falls over after getting the first base. He doesn't realize he hit the home run 60 feet beyond the fence. And everybody helps him up, even the other team helps him up, and he runs. The rest of the base surprised, shocked, because he had never hit a home run. But most importantly, as we talked about the why. Why do we do all that we do? Why do we do it for the community? Why do we do it for the employees? Why do we do it for the staff? And I made you think about it, but the true answer at the end of the day is the same answer that came in the video, came in the movie, because we're working.
Well put. Thank you. Any other comments? If not, we stand adjourned at 3:56, which may be my record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good job, good work, Jenny, good teamwork. Yeah, that's
Well, I will say this, our goal, like I said, everybody, we don't want anything on the agenda. It's Bob's fault. And I'm like,
I told Chris.